Hi guys, welcome to my tutorial on how to make a pirate French macaron shaped cookie. Okay, first I want to start out by saying if you haven't taken my macaron 101 video yet or watched the macaron 101 video yet, go ahead and do that first. I provided a link in the notes section below. You're going to need that in order to move forward in this particular tutorial, as I don't go through the actual process of making the batter. Okay, I grabbed 2 additional Pyrex glass bowls because I'm going to divide the batter into those smaller bowls. When you're working on the batter, you want to fold the batter to the point where everything's incorporated into the batter, but you're not folding it to the final point where it becomes the lava stage. You want to fold it just enough that it's incorporated and cohesive and stop, because at this point is where you want to divide the batter into smaller sections so that you can color it multiple different colors. Now, if you've never colored macarons or made 3 different colors from one batch, I highly recommend that you make separate batches for each color, because there is a tendency for people who are new to macarons to overfold, causing issues when you bake the cookie later. For the pirate macaron, you have 3 colors. You have red, you have a tan colored, and then you have white. For the tan colored, I just left it the original macaron color because almond flour has a yellow tone or hint to it, so I left it that color. I am going to divide the batter into essentially 3 portions, but you'll see one of them I will leave the original color, and the other 2 I will be adding Sugar Art Red Rose, and the white I will be adding titanium dioxide to it. Okay, you guys see me grabbing a container of cling wrap. The reason why I do that is because the batters, if they are exposed to air, they will dry out. So we want to make sure they don't develop that skin. So we're going to cover it with the cling wrap to ensure that that doesn't happen while you're working on incorporating colors into the other batters. I prefer to use powder color here instead of gel because the powder specifically from the Sugar Art is very vibrant and it doesn't really interfere with my batter mixture. Okay, now let's talk about fold. If you look at the way I fold, okay, my technique with folding is I like my spatula to touch the bottom of my glass bowl, and then I don't actually fold and flop the batter over onto my existing batter in the bowl. What I like to do is I call it a twirl method. So I like to twirl my spatula in my bowl, but I like to keep my spatula anchored to the ground. And then from time to time, you'll see me cut through the middle to make sure everything's incorporated from the bottom of the bowl. And then as I'm twirling, I'm twisting the top. The reason why I like the twirled method is because I don't grab the batter and plop it onto the batter that's sitting up below. When that happens, it actually will decompress the air that you had incorporated into your meringue, and that could cause issues with your batter, your macarons deflating when you bake it in the oven. And here's me trying to shove both of them into my container, which is not gonna work. Yes. There we go. Good one. So keep in mind there are 3 different methods of making macarons: the French method, the Italian method, and the Swiss method. So what you're learning here is the French method. French is a little bit more delicate than the Italian. Italian is definitely a lot more stable, but I prefer the French method because I just love the taste and texture of the French versus the Italian, which generally gives me more of a crumbly and dry texture, versus the French, which offers me that nice texture, crunchy on the outside and very chewy on the inside. As you can see here, I'm folding it and I'm cutting through the center. I want to get to the point where they call it the lava stage. That's when it flows really slowly and very smoothly to the point where I can create a figure 8 without it breaking. And when I've seen people make the figure 8 and they rush that 8, it's a very slow 8. Here I test the first round, and as you can see, it's still very clumpy. I'm not getting the lava flow, and I can't make a figure 8. We keep folding, and there we have it, the nice lava flow. As you can see, the more you fold, the more the ingredients come together and become a nice cohesive batter, so the texture gets a lot more smoother. That's how you know the batter is ready. At this point, you want to stop. This is where people overfold. Now we're going to empty the contents into our piping bag. So I use a round piping tip. A Wilton will work, any round size that you like, depending on what you're trying to create. This is very common when you are incorporating colors. It's a lot easier to overfold, because you're focusing on mixing the color into your actual batter that you don't realize that you've already folded so many times. Now I'm cleaning. It's always good to maintain good hygiene and cleaning your surface, your workspace. Okay guys, now we have our batter in our piping bags with the tips. You will also need a toothpick. A toothpick is essential when you're making character macarons because you're going to need to maneuver the batter to where you need it to go. I'm working with a half sheet tray with a silicone mat. And what you see underneath the mat is my template that I printed out to help guide me. When you're piping character macarons, there is a specific order that you have to follow. It's very similar to royal icing, in which you have to layer it on. The pirate macaron layer has to dry enough. You want to pipe so that it holds its shape. So you're going to use the tan or the natural colored almond macaron batter, and then you're going to pipe on the headpiece, which is the bandana, and we're going to use the red. You're going to leave the tail part of that bandana out, so don't pipe that quite yet. Once you piped in the bandana head portion, we're going to take some of the light tan colored one and put it into a smaller piping bag, and we're going to pipe the ears. Once the ears have been piped, we will add the white dots across the bandana. Once the whites have been added, we will then take a portion of the red batter and put it into a piping bag, and we are going to pipe the tail of the bandana. That is the order in which you need to pipe these specific macs. And there you have it.